absolutely love that new Dream Car song.
Me too.
It's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hi.
Jack Antonoff, the other voice you hear of Bleachers. How are you this morning, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. So, just talking about Dream Car. Have you listened to that whole album yet?
No, but I like it touches on a lot of things that inspire me.
Me too.
You know,
it takes me back to a different place, really.
I was in a studio in LA, and I was doing something there, and something was going on in the next room, and I asked the engineer, I was like, who's in there? They're like, oh, No Doubt, and Davey from AFI, and I was like, what are they doing? And that was like a while ago, so it's cool to hear it.
Yeah, that was the first time I heard Rumors. I'm like, oh, I want to hear what they do. Like, I'm interested to hear where they go with it.
I was a big AFI fan for a long time.
Yeah, I've been a No Doubt fan forever, too. So
this is perfect for us.
Yeah. Awesome. So, Jack, here, Bleachers, going to be playing Rawkus tonight. Very excited about the show.
First time in first Bleacher show here ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it your first trip to Colorado Springs?
It's probably second. I did the Black Sheep a million years ago.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it's always Colorado Springs. I'm from Jersey, so it's probably similar. I bet everyone goes to Denver. And then, so
everybody's going into the city to see the show.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I grew up, was you always have to go to New York City to see shows. So I have a lot of love for Colorado Springs type places.
Absolutely, yeah. When you actually get a show in your town.
Yeah, they're always more exciting.
Yeah.
You go to the big city, everyone is, they expect it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm really excited about tonight.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of appreciative fans out at Rawkus tonight. How's the tour going so far?
This is our third show.
Yeah.
It's really, so it's not just the third show of the tour, it's the beginning of a whole new era. I've been off tour for 2 years since the last, just making this new album. And we did Chicago, we did Omaha. Chicago was a festival, so actually Colorado Springs would be the second headlining show of this whole time period.
Nice. And so you're playing the new music off the new album, Gone Now. It's going to be hitting stores on June 2nd. How does that new music feel live? Feeling good?
Amazing. Well, it's crazy to play stuff because we've put out, there's 3 songs so far from the album.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how quickly kids just start to know every word. You know, because you think, there's this whole crazy combination. With the last album being the first album, people would know a song or two before the album came out, and then we'd play all this new stuff. Now it's like we have that whole body of work, and then these 3 new songs people know, and then we still get to play songs people don't know. It's so damn exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's crazy to work on something alone in a room. I don't work in big studios or anything. Yeah, I do it all in my apartment. Contrary to that, No Doubt, Davey Havoc story I just told, but I was just in there for one day. But I work in my apartment in New York. Yeah, and so to take something that was built like from going crazy alone in a room, and then to actually play it live is really a trip.
That's awesome. So talking to Jack Antonoff of Bleachers right now, just kind of looking through what you've been up to the last couple of years. Besides the Bleacher album, you're working with so many different artists. It just seems like you're super busy. Have you always been a busy person? Do you always feel the need to have something going on constantly? Or is this something that's just been kind of happening more and more as you've gotten, I don't want to say more famous, but more established as an artist?
It's more the thoughts you have in your head. Like, they don't last forever. So you hear things in your head, and then you want to make them when you hear them. Yeah. And sometimes you don't. Like, I go through writing periods. Sometimes I hear a lot of things, and sometimes they're Bleacher songs, and sometimes they're ideas for other people. And when you have those things in your head, you have to go make them because they don't last forever. So it's more just this period I've been in of having a lot of ideas and knowing it's not an endless well, it dries up. So yeah, you got to do it when you have it.
So you have an idea and you think this is a Taylor Swift song, and you reach out, what is the process with that?
No, it's not like that. They're more broad. Like, you just you start to get filled with just sounds in your head. And then you realize that you have it's almost like what's that basketball video game where when the ball goes on fire?
Oh yeah, that NBA
Jam. Yeah,
it's NBA Jam.
Writing is it's like playing that. You go through these moments. Sometimes you're weaving in and out of feelings, and every once in a while you just catch this fire. And when you have that, you want to use it.
I'm picturing fire coming off of your pen or off your keyboard or something.
Cool. I like that. Can we work on a cartoon together?
It would be fantastic. Yeah. The Jack Antonoff video game.
I love it.
You're in the writing group.
Yeah. This is extremely boring compared to NBA Jam. It means a lot to 9 people.
It's lots of you rubbing your head and thinking about things.
It's going nuts in a room, ordering lunch.
So, you're writing, you're producing with other people. Is there something like therapeutic when you go back to do a Bleachers album that's just for you? Like it's just...
It's very hard.
Yeah.
The Bleacher stuff is hard because it's so... You really have to face yourself to tell those stories. You know, when I'm with other people, it's more... That's almost more therapeutic because I'm talking about, you know, things they've been through, and we're talking about... It's like we're in a room together with a common goal and we're both working towards it. When I'm in a room alone, I just like have to face all these things. I can't run from them. It's not like, you know, on tour, sometimes you're in a hotel, you're a brand new person. None of the walls have the energy of your whole life. You can just sort of glide through it.
Yeah.
Which is why I love being on tour. You get to just like celebrate it and not be weighted down by it. But when writing, that's hard. That's an intense process, especially the subject matter.
Well, and back to the new album, Gone Now. I mean, it seems like is this a deeply personal project? You kind of letting go of things from the past or you know, so was this extra hard? I mean, was this
hardest thing I've ever done.
Cathartic kind of, or
moments it was cathartic, moments it was just hard.
Yeah.
You know, just hard to revisit a lot of those things. But you look at it and you think about the music that you love. You think about what keeps you going. You think about what matters to people who care about your music. You realize you have to go there.
Yeah.
It's the only way to be fair. You know, the people don't need crap.
It's true.
You know, there's enough crap out there, and not just in music. Think about, you know, whether it's like food or cars or just like sometimes you go buy something, some attachment for your phone, and you can't believe how crappy it is. It's just, you know, I want to give everything I got.
I appreciate you caring about that. I mean, it seems like you do. There are artists, I think, that don't really care about that.
It's always you start to realize what lets you when you go to bed at night, what fills you with a sense of completion and what, you know, keeps you up. And you don't want to stay up.
So talking about the four walls, you are traveling with your bedroom right now.
Yeah.
I read about this and I think it's so fascinating. You live at home in New Jersey until you're 27, which I picture as fun as blowing up and things are just getting very exciting. You're still going home.
Yeah.
And that's kind of your safe.
We had a #1 record and I was living at home.
That's wild.
Which is funny because at the time it was like, when I used to live at home, it was like, I guess Jack's career isn't doing well, was like the neighbor's opinion. And then when things got really big and I still lived at home, I think that they were like, I guess Jack's unwell.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, you can't win. But I think living at home is cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. As long as you get along with your family and everybody's...
Well, I had such a sense of independence touring so much.
Yeah.
So in some way I felt like I was doing things that my friends couldn't do. And in other ways I had this like arrested development because I'd come home and I'd be like, I don't need to move out. I just went around the whole world.
Yeah.
So interesting. But I wrote your point about the bedroom. This is the third stop with it. I wrote all the songs I've ever written for everything in this bedroom that I lived my whole life in. And when I made this album, I thought, this album is the most important thing to me. What place is the most important thing? You know, in this world where everything just flies out and everyone hears everything at once, how can I like pull back and create something very special? And I thought, well, I want kids to hear it in that bedroom. So we removed the walls, the bed, the rug. We literally froze it and put it in a trailer. And today at Rawkus, you get there early. It's, I think 3 p.m. It'll be open from 3 to 6. You can hear the new album in there.
That's so cool. All right. So, yeah, if you're listening, you have tickets tonight. Get down to Rawkus, 3 o'clock today. And I just think it's so cool. It's sharing something so personal to you.
Yeah, it's like, it reminds me of the 90s. Like, I went to see Green Day play in the 90s, and Billy Joe took all his clothes off and put on the craziest show I've ever seen. I went to school the next day, and people just had to believe me. That you were there or you weren't.
Yeah.
And in 2017, I love the internet, and I love how culture works, but I also want to create experiences where you were there or you weren't. And I can't put the whole world in this room, right?
Yeah.
But I could put a few thousand people over the course of a whole tour. And for those people, you were there or you weren't.
That's so awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. The show tonight, Rawkus Bleachers Live. There are still a few tickets available, so head over to 1039rxp.com. Get the ticket link there. Talking with Jack Antonoff right now. I got to ask this. So you removed this room from your parents' house. Yeah, I assume your parents still live in the same house, right?
Yeah, they're not pleased.
Yeah, what is it just like an empty hole in the house right now?
The walls are kind of cut out. It's not good.
Just studs and
yeah.
like...
But, you know, they can deal.
Are you going to put it back?
No. I kind of want to blow it up when it's all done.
Really?
Yeah.
Just really let go of it.
Well, the whole concept of the album is talking about the space of moving on and the absurdity of bringing your childhood room with you, playing with the idea of what you can and can't bring, literally and mentally. So it kind of seems fitting that it would just sort of disappear at some point. And I like that too from a fan perspective. It's like you saw it or you didn't.
Yeah, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We'll see.
I can't wait to see the video on that. Actually, a listener question. AJ wanted to know, he's a drummer, and apparently you were touring with 2 drummers now.
Yeah, I got 2 drummers.
Why?
Well, it started, my dad took me to see the Allman Brothers probably when I was 9, and they had 2 drummers. And I couldn't believe all the things that they were doing with sounds and rhythm. And, drums it's a huge palette. It's not just like a drum kit sounds like a drum kit. And so when I started, that was the seed. That always stuck in my head. But then when I started on the first Bleachers album, big concept of Bleachers is this mix of live and program stuff. So I would be like program it would be on an MPC, and then I'd play live drums on top of it, and they'd be totally different. And so it actually was recorded like 2 drummers.
Yeah.
And so that childhood memory of seeing the Allman Brothers and then actually working that way, I was like, screw it, I'm gonna actually do this.
It's awesome.
My crew hates me, but it works.
That extra drummer on tour with you is like,
yeah, I love it.
Thanks, Jack.
Yeah.
All right, so check out the show tonight. Rawkus, Bleachers Live. Jack Antonoff sitting in studio. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, and definitely looking forward to seeing the show, and best wishes in the future for Bleachers and for everything that you're doing right now.
Thanks, and we really started this whole cycle. This is our 2nd day of it here, so we should come back and finish it here.
Awesome. Well, enjoy the spring.
Maybe we'll blow up the room in Fort Collins.
That would be awesome.
Let me know if you can.
Can we get an invite? I would go.
Can we do it on the roof here? Is there a big parking lot somewhere?
There's big parking lots everywhere. We'll do it.
Good to know.
Great.
Thanks, Ed.
Right. Thank you very much. Stick around. More details on the Bleachers Show and more great music coming up on RXP at 103.9.